Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Jerry D. Wolf. I'm going to keep on recording the podcast tonight. We just did part one. I wasn't expecting to do a part two, but because I decided not to pay Zoom anymore, we're going to do a part two because we only got to do about 39 and a half minutes, right, to close it out. So, what I was going to further talk about was a little more in detail on the review uh, we were doing. I had a little bit more to say. It wasn't much, but I, we can go in and talk about other stuff while we're doing this too. Um, One other thing I wanted to mention before I get into all this is I noticed, a lot of the times on Facebook we get caught up in a lot of crap, or people on Twitter or whatever social media site that we're on. A lot of the times we get taken aside with negativity in the news or social media that we forget who we are. Some of us can be a little toxic ourselves and just can't admit it. We all have a little bit of come get some in us. While there's nothing wrong with that, we all need to treat each other a little better, the best we can, because that's what our Creator expects from us. God bless the men and women who fight for our freedom every day, and God bless America. Um, so here we go. On to the Outlaw Mud Show horseshit, I say. So the dive off the building to the bed of the truck, uh, and it goes through what looks like a bed of LED bulbs, glass, possibly wood and brick. It was the most absolutely dangerous stunt and what those delusional morons call wrestling. The two guys literally dived off of like a warehouse into the bed of a truck with all this shit in the back. LED bulbs, glass, wood, brick, like the most dangerous stunt maybe ever. It was just weird. It was like, let's take Daddy's truck down to his warehouse and play Goldberg versus Bret Hart on the roof. Oh, I can assure you that the two individuals that went through the pile of all that, whatever it was, got multiple concussions. Anybody watching the clip we posted before tonight, well, actually, I don't remember posting it tonight, but I'll post it after the podcast. Um, but anybody that sees that clip that I'll post, please don't ever try that stupid bullshit. These so-called professionals aren't professionals. They just think that playing Mankind versus Undertaker on the roof won't end in tragedy. Uh, it's just completely unnecessary, and it could be life altering. You can only pray for nitwits like this. This clip can't be new. It's got to be. It's got to have been around for a while. I don't know the actual date. However, if this current dick about happening, if this is like current wrestling, then God help us all, because even Benoit felt that hit. Um, I don't understand why people want to do crazy shit like that. I mean, I thought we were past the whole Mankind Undertaker throwing someone off the Hell in a Cell. Um, I mean, it was fun during the 90s. It was fun when Undertaker threw Shane. Actually, it wasn't throwing Shane off. I think it was Shane diving off of the cell. I think he just pushed Shane off of the cell. Um, but nevertheless, uh, matches like this got to be limited. Um, and it's a good thing that they've kind of toned down with the Hell in a Cell matches. Uh, when I see cage matches, I expect to see a little bit more than what we get these days. It's just, I don't know, a little strange. Old school cage matches used to be a little better. This is my opinion. I was tempted to ask Marlboro Slim while I had him on the podcast, uh, who would you like to be in a cage match with if you were ever in a cage match? The next time I have him on, uh, I'll have to ask. I was going to ask J.R. Wynn if he had ever been to a cage match and what was the better cage matches that the two of them have seen. Didn't get around to it. We were running out of time. But I did post a link on Facebook for J.R. Wynn if he wanted to come back on and keep talking uh, through this podcast because I really wasn't done talking. Uh, I know we only had 39 minutes, but I was excited about getting on tonight, and I was like, I got another podcast for me. And right now, I'm watching reruns of Monday Night Raw. Give me a second, and I can tell you what episode it is. It's like old reruns, old shows of it. Let's see here. February 13th, 1999. Stone Cold faces the corporation in a gauntlet match. Got a segment right now with Ken Shamrock and Val Venus with Billy Gunn getting in between them and the corporation getting involved, the next part getting involved. Um, I've been watching the rivalry between Shamrock and Val Venus when Ryan Shamrock was involved. I'm not worried if JR would then come back on. I was just extending the invitation, telling if he wanted to stay on, feel like getting off this yet. So, um, let's talk about some of the upcoming matches in WWE. See, I'll pull up some of the next pay per views that are coming up for WWE and AEW. We can talk about that for a minute. Bash in Berlin is the next pay per view. All right. And Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship, I thought they would wait a while before they did that, but he will make a great champion. So at Bash at Berlin, we'll get Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we'll get Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Championship. It'll highlight their stipulation: if Orton wins the championship, he will be transferred to Raw, with Gunther being transferred to SmackDown. Now, memory serves me correct. January, it'll won't be till January until Raw goes to Netflix, and then SmackDown will be there on USA, and NXT goes to CW. While I was watching SmackDown, and I saw Kevin Owens backstage with Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. Um, I didn't know how that storyline was really going to work out because Kevin Owens was really adamant about, hey, I don't deserve this championship. If you've looked at my win loss record over the last year, it hasn't been all that great. I don't deserve this championship. And to me, he's always a champion in my eyes. Kevin Owens is a bad son of a bitch. a bad dude. I'm a big Kevin Owens fan. I'll always be a fan of his, so he's always going to be a champ, in my opinion. But for him to have that kind of angle going into this, it's interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it'll be interesting to see where it goes and how it develops. Um, I don't know if we'll see like some heel moves from Kevin Owens or if it'll stay a respective rivalry. At some point, we've got to see another big heel come in and try and take down Cody Rhodes. And Kevin Owens, and during some of his career, has had some really good heel work, especially as a United States champion. Um, it was just a really good run. I remember he was clean shaven at that point, but his run as the United States champion was pretty great. So if we can get some heel personalities, like traits shining from Kevin Owens, might make it interesting. Uh, take it to another level and get intense. I'd like to see Kevin Owens do that apron power bomb on Cody Owens. Sorry, Cody Rhodes. I'm bound to make up to mess up once or twice. I'm gonna botch too, you know. People do botch. Um, I do not watch a ton of AEW. I really don't. Uh, see here, what is today? Today is Sunday, so the next show is going to be Dynamite. So let's see what the card is going to be. I just went to church. I don't know it's Sunday. Um, I hope I don't have to get on Twitter to look up what the card's going to be. Sometimes it happens. You won't be able to find the card unless you go on Twitter. And I do not have a Twitter account. No, I do not. I do not want a Twitter. I won't get on Twitter. It's just a big hassle. I don't know what the card is going to be. Uh, oh well. Let's see here. AEW collision result. Okay, getting the results from Bleacher Report here. Ooh, let's see what happened. Number one contender match for AEW World Trios Championship at all. House of Black, Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy, and Brody King versus the Bang Bang Gang. Bruce Robinson and the Gun. Christian Cage as the guest referee. Can I just skip this one, please? Oh, God. Let's see here. I'll say a couple positive things about this. Uh, Buddy Murphy is an incredible athlete. He's not much of a talker. He doesn't really need to be. He just needs, like, if he were ever to be on his own, he needs somebody to speak for him because he's not much, of a mic guy. Malachi Black, um, I liked Aleister Black, Malachi Black, whatever you want to call him, since he was in WWE. I think he's a hell of an athlete. I enjoy watching this match. And, uh, I just think he would have been, I thought he would have been world champion by now in AEW. And it's real disappointing. Texas Border match, Thunder Rosa versus Diana Carrazzo. I was backstage with Thunder Rosa at a show in Oklahoma City. I probably said this in another podcast, but that podcast could have been on Spotify. It doesn't matter. I talked about it anyways. She was talking to somebody else, and they were both looking at their phones, and it seemed like they were talking about. I don't mean they were having a conversation with each other. What she was with. I want to say it was Blue Pants, but I could be wrong. It could have been somebody else. Um, but Thunder Rosa was backstage. Uh, I was talking to Sam Stackhouse and another buddy of mine, but it was cool to be backstage with Sam and see everybody else backstage, kind of in the grill position, if you will. Thunder Rosa was back there. Other than her, uh, I know Fuego del Sol wasn't back there, but there were other luchador type wrestlers back there that I hadn't seen. Um, Darby Allin and Hologram versus the premier athletes, Tony Nese and Josh Wood. Who is Hologram? And I'm surprised they still have Josh Woods around, not because I have anything against them. And I'm surprised they have Tony Nese around. Again, not because I have anything against them, but because they've really not had anything in the way of how they've been presented. Uh, from what I've seen, it's just not there. I just don't see it. I really don't. I like Tony Nese. I think he's uh, got a great personality. I think he's great in the ring. I just don't think anybody's going to utilize him uh, in the way he wants to be utilized. I don't. Why? Because he's just one of those guys that no matter how great of a personality he has, and no matter how great his in-ring skills are, people don't see him as a big marketing guy, if you will. They just don't know how to market, and that's not Tony Nese's fault. That's everybody else's fault that's had to work with him and can't figure out what the hell to do. Like, oh, we're just gonna have this huge roster with everybody else in it, but we can't find anything for you. And that's just how it feels when I see Tony Nese out there. It's like you really just don't have anything for him, do you? You got a guy that's out there who busts his ass off. He's putting in the work in the gym. He's putting in the work training. He's got a great personality. I think he could be a little better on the mic, but I think he's good on the mic. But I mean, I'm not going to try to compare him to anybody else. He's eventually going to break out of his shell, uh, and it just sucks that any of the promotions I've seen him in haven't just utilized him properly and seen the star that I see and see potential that guy's got. FTR versus the Outrunners. Who the fuck are the Outrunners? Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. What in the hell? Ugh. Rush versus Preston Vance. Swerve Strickland's open challenge eliminator match. Is that it? Are we done? God. I'm like looking at this card like hologram. Truth Magnum, Turbo Floyd. And who the fuck are these people? I know who Juice Robinson is. I know who everybody else is on this card. But I don't know who Turbo Floyd is. I don't know who Truth Magnum is. I don't know who fucking Hologram is. Who the fuck is that? And you know the worst part about a build up in all elite wrestling, there is none. There are no build ups. There's no long term storytelling. And if you want to talk to anybody that's an AEW fan, they'll tell you, well, we don't need storylines. We don't need build up. We like brain stuff. And, well, some people are into that. Some people are not. Some people want substance. Some people want to see uh, somebody get pissed off in a promo and show some intensity and passion for the business and show someone up. And AEW, MJF can do it. Rick, I don't know how long Ricky Stark's going to be there. Ricky Starks can do it. Samoa Joe can certainly talk on the mic. Jay Lethal can talk on the mic. But some of these guys have been doing this for a while. I see a lot of people complaining online about how many former WWE guys have been in AEW. How many more WWE guys are we going to get? We get all these WWE rejects, and we can't just have homegrown talent. Where the fuck do you think homegrown talent comes from, dummy? Some of these people are fresh out of fucking NXT who didn't really have a fucking chance. And why are they going to AEW? Because they didn't really have anything in the first fucking place, or they just didn't shine uh, the way they should have. Because again, WWE doesn't always know how to utilize people um, the way they want to be utilized. Um, some people have higher expectations, and they want more creative freedom uh, with their character or their gimmick or things that are going on in segments, and whatnot. And if they can't have that, um, well, what do you tell somebody that says, "Oh, I'm not good with that, brother"? That's not gonna work for me, brother. I don't know if we should do that with my interest music, brother. Brother. I don't know if I want to go out there in black and white. I've been in red and yellow this whole time, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. Okay, that's enough of that nonsense. Right now, I have Steve Blackman and I believe it's Al Snow. It's sure. Where'd you go? I saw him on here a second ago. Now I feel stupid. Where'd he go? Does he go into the ring? It's The Rock, and he certainly wasn't under the ring. And that is just a bad matchup. I would not want to see Steve Blackman versus The Rock. I probably have seen this before, but that's just a strange matchup just because of the styles. Um, are there any AEW 2024? Okay, no, that's at the beginning of the year. March, March, April, April, April. They got three April pay. They had three April pay per views. Gee, I'm not even going to comment. June 30th, July 30th, July 17th, July 24th, July 26th. So I think seven. What's this? Assumed, unconfirmed, assumed August 2024. Right for the fallen. That's the next big view. What does that mean? Unconfirmed, assumed. Does that mean I just had a talk with Shane McMahon, so I'm not confirming it, and we're just assuming we're going to have Fight for the Fallen in August? Some of the debate is, uh, and Vince Russo seems to think this, and I'm not a Russo fan, mind you, but I kind of think he's spot on about this opinion that he thinks the McMahons are getting ready to buy AEW. You can go look for the clip. You might think I'm full of shit. You might think I'm crazy, but I don't really care. Um, so I think it's possible. Vince McMahon is a vengeful person, and if you think that if he has a chance at getting back at the family, turning their back on him and running WWE without him, if you think he's just going to let that happen and not do something about it, you're crazy. He, he, he could very well could. And Shane being in AEW tells me that things are not good and it's time for a change. Battle for the belts. Um, 2022. I don't know if AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Time was Tony Storm defeated Aya Valkyrie. I don't have anything to say about either of them because I don't know a whole lot about either of them. Dustin Rhodes and Von Erich defeated the Undisputed King to win the vacant ROH World Six Man Tag Team. I've never really been a big fan of the Trios Tag Team Championship in any promotion. I don't know why. It's not for me. Um, but I do like the Freebird rule uh, of being allowed to have one person in your stable, even if they didn't win the tag team championship, be involved in a tag team championship match. I've been looking at different things to talk about. And I'm about to run out of things to talk. I just wanted to get on here and kind of do a follow up to what me and Slim and JR Wind were doing. Um, I knew that Slim had one of his one of his kids with him, so I knew he wanted to spend more time with him. So I didn't want to bug him with inviting him back in. Uh, we'll have to do another podcast with those two again soon. That was a lot of fun. JR Wynn sent me a message a little bit ago saying he had a lot of fun talking to us. Um, and podcasts, a lot of the times, gets us through our bullshit. A lot of people don't understand that. Whether you go to therapy or whether you go to church or whether you just have good family members or good friends that are a good support team. For some of these guys, wrestlers, the managers, whatever kind of talent they are, and even including me, just doing a podcast will will get you through for a while, honestly, because you get to talk about what's on your mind and all the things that you have going on and what's coming up. Always be looking forward to your goals. Always uh, try and be excited about the end goal of something. If it's at the beginning of the week and you're just trying to get through it, and you know that something big is going to happen on the weekend, use it. You just use it as motivation to get you through. Um, I'm a I don't go to church all the time, but I certainly pray all the time. I believe in God. Not everybody believes in God, and for those that don't, that's fine. Believe in yourself. Uh, have a strong faith in yourself, and have a good outlook and a positive attitude, and it will carry you through life. Because having a negative attitude and holding in negative energy, uh, whether it's from resentment, hate, or in a strange relationship, um, just think as many positive thoughts as you can, and just know that there are people that have struggled just like you, uh, and we're rooting for you. So just hang in there and know that there are people out there that have a, probably have a lot in common with you. And so some of us getting on here and doing these podcasts is almost therapy for some of us. It really is, because when we get to talk about what's going on with wrestling, because we don't have to talk about bad things that are going on in our lives, because you can obviously see that when we're talking about sports, when we're talking about hunting, fishing, or wrestling, no matter what we're talking about, it gets you through, especially when you got a group of friends that are always talking about the same things and have the same goals and are goal oriented. Surround yourself with goal oriented people. Don't surround yourself around people that have no ambition or desires to go further with their life. Always try to better yourself, educate yourself, whether it's self education, whether you're self teaching yourself or it's going back to college or getting your GED. Always be looking out for you and take care of yourself, because nobody else is going to take care of you for you. And I think that's probably where I can end it tonight. I really appreciate anybody that's been following and listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love y'all. You have a great evening. Stay blessed.